strong.
Welcome back to Crypto for Freedom, where we talk about gaining financial freedom through the cryptocurrency markets. All right, you guys, it's not the time to panic, all right? Now is the time to take a step back, when in doubt, zoom out, stay calm, and realize that yes, Bitcoin is in a one-year bear market right now. And that's okay. That's how things are supposed to be. This is how it goes, you guys. You're able to strategize and plan to make money in these markets by studying the 4-year cycle in Bitcoin. So that's what I want you guys to do, is study the 4-year cycle in Bitcoin. I want you to study the bear market, study the 3-year bull runs. And to me, it looks like Bitcoin goes into this falling wedge. Once it goes into a bull run, it falls out of the bull run into a falling wedge through the Gaussian Channel, hits the bull run, comes down through the Gaussian Channel to make the wedge. It did it again over here in 2021 in this channel, came up to the bull run, fell through the Gaussian Channel. And right now it looks like Bitcoin is making the same exact pattern here, falling into this wedge. And it's just not the time to panic if you realize that, yes, you're going to have a great buying opportunity next year. Now, if you bought the top, then yes, you will have to hold for the next 2 years to, 2 to 3 years to get your money back. But that's going to be a perfect opportunity to buy the dip at the end of this year when Bitcoin is at 60,000 or 50,000 or even maybe $40,000 Bitcoin. Imagine buying 1% of a coin for $400 at the end of this year. Right now, 1% of a coin is going to cost you $950. And if you got in the market recently over the last 8 weeks, and say you bought the dip a little bit on this dip because you thought it's going to go higher, this might be a good time to get back out of that position at 95K, because Bitcoin is making a bear flag right here. And as you can see, we're at the top of that flag, the top of that pattern there. So it might be a good time to either take some profits or just get out of that position completely before we roll back over. Because as of now, zooming into the daily chart, we're getting rejected at this, at the top of the Gaussian Channel on the daily chart. We've already got rejected over here one time at the midline of the Gaussian Channel. And since we weren't able to break out, maybe we still break out. But to me, zooming out on the weekly chart, it looks like we're getting rejected at this bear flag here, you guys. And the target for the bear flag is you take from the bottom of the pull to the top of the pull, bring that down to the breakdown, and that means once we break down out of this pattern, we could be seeing, let's get the measurement tool from here. We could be seeing another 42% drop for Bitcoin all the way down to $54,000, and that would not shock me whatsoever, considering back in 2021 the price of Bitcoin dropped from the peak 51%, from 69,000 all the way to 33,000. So why couldn't it drop from the peak 51% and come down to 60,000 and below? I think that's very possible and very likely. So why not hedge against that outcome? Because the trend is your friend until the end. So since we didn't see a super cycle, we didn't see the price keep going up past 542 days past the halving, we're going to end up seeing lower prices for Bitcoin. And that's okay, because this is how it is, you guys. You save up cash during the bear market, you get out of debt, you save up your emergency fund, and you buy in at the bottom of the bear market, you guys. And that doesn't mean you need to buy Dogecoin then, because Dogecoin, is going to still underperform Bitcoin as Bitcoin finds a bottom. And I think Dogecoin is still going to go down in price. So yeah, that's why I think it's better to just kind of be in Bitcoin for the long term. And then when there's opportunities, to buy into Dogecoin, that's when you go over and buy into Dogecoin. But from how it's played out every single time, it looks like Bitcoin is going to go ahead and, fall down into this channel. It's already, fallen below the 50-week moving average, which historically, once Bitcoin does that, it comes up and back tests, and that's the bear market. So, it looks like maybe we could come up and back test, or maybe we just float around here for a little while and let the 50-week moving average roll over more until they meet, and then we drop off the table. And I think that might be happening. And I actually thought that the price of Bitcoin was going to go a little bit lower, a little bit faster, to be honest, but it's playing out almost like it always does. And it never plays out exactly the same, but it often rhymes. So you can strategize around that. Like, I already have a big sum of cash ready to buy the dip in this green box over here starting in October of 2026. And I'm ready to buy, and I'm working my ass off to pay my bills, to make sure I have food on the table for my family, to make sure everything is taken care of. And then that's how I'm going to win in these markets, you guys. So if you like the content, if you like the way this channel is going, make sure to subscribe to the channel. So if Bitcoin's in a bear market, what does that mean for Dogecoin, you guys? Let's flip over to Dogecoin over here. Now, historically, Dogecoin, once the peak happens, falls into its own descending parallel channel. And it's happened 3 times in the past over here, once over here, once over here. And it looks like it's happening again. And I think, we could end up seeing a very long period of time in this channel. If we bring out our date range tool, you can see that once we get into this channel, we're in it for a very long time. Looks like 924 days here till the breakout, 924 days here to the breakout, and a little bit longer here, 1,100 days to the breakout on this one. But that was right after Dogecoin first dropped. So could we be seeing 924 days for Dogecoin in this downtrend till we see a breakout? I think that's also very likely and possible. Considering that the Gaussian Channel is also flipping red right now, which, that kind of signaled the bear market for Dogecoin in every single cycle as well. The weekly Gaussian Channel for Dogecoin is actually flipping red right now, so that's not a good sign. We have the 50-week moving average crossing the 200-week moving average, which that is a death cross, I believe. Was that a death cross? I think that's a death cross, which means usually when that happens, we see further downside. You can see that happened over here in August of 2022, and we saw further downside for Dogecoin, like a 34% drop. And we also saw it over here in 2019, and from there we saw another 52% drop. So, could we be seeing a 30 to 50% drop for Dogecoin in the short to medium term? I think that is very likely. I mean, look what happened last time. The Gaussian Channel flipped red. Dogecoin went down 60%. We just flipped red. So 60%, that brings us almost down to the bottom of this channel, back into the fish tank, where we know that Dogecoin likes to go down to the fish tank over here and swim with the fishies in the sea. So I think that's going to happen, you guys. I think Dogecoin is going to have a pretty substantial drop of, another 50%, maybe 60% down to the bottom of this channel within the next, definitely by October. It's probably going to happen before that, though, because Dogecoin bottomed before Bitcoin did last time. Dogecoin bottomed in June, and Bitcoin didn't bottom until, October or November? I'm pretty sure. So Yeah, just hang on, you guys. If you guys are still in the market, just buy the dip when when we do get to the bottom of this channel. For Dogecoin, maybe you do buy the dip there, but then you still got to kind of look at the the 7-year cycle theory for for Doge and Bitcoin pair, and that kind of says that Dogecoin is in a downtrend against Bitcoin for a 7-year period. Here it happened for the first time, and it kind of looks like it's happening again over here for 2,500 days. So we could be seeing, even if Bitcoin bottoms out over here in October, Dogecoin still could lose value against Bitcoin all the way out over here until February of 2028. So that's why it's best to be in Bitcoin until we see this, this line break here. We want to see this 50147 break for the Doge Bitcoin pair and drop down over here to the bottom line over here. Who knows how low it'll go, but I'm pretty sure that Dogecoin is going to lose a lot of value. Right now, one Bitcoin will buy you 645,000 Doge. So that's kind of the most it's been in the last little while. And if you take a look at, this is the inverse chart of Doge Bitcoin. And if you take a look, it's actually making a head and shoulders pattern right here on the chart, which is telling me that Doge is actually about to lose a lot more value compared to Bitcoin. So just be aware of that, guys. If you haven't sold out of your positions yet and you're still holding on, then you know what? You just got to do what's best for your family. But, we could be seeing, over $1 million for over 1 million Dogecoin for one Bitcoin in the future. We already saw this wick spike up here when we had this kind of scam wick. We already saw this, where's the little arrow at? Arrow, is it here? Yeah, we already saw this wick right here. So a lot of time the price likes to, go up and close those wicks after they wick. So we could be seeing Doge lose a lot of value against Bitcoin, you guys. So just beware. This is kind of a beware video that, yeah, Bitcoin is probably going to go a lot lower here and get into this bear market a little deeper. So just beware, you guys, and make sure you have a plan. Make sure you begin with the end in mind. Always do your own research. Remember, none of this is financial advice. And if you like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and smash the likes. That really helps with the algorithm. And also go check out all my videos in my playlist in the link in the description. And with that, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.